Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of a full episode of Midnight Blue and Gold. Last week we had the Rocket Refuel, which, we just wanted to take a moment and thank everybody for just a phenomenal turnout on our YouTube video. Easily our best ever. So huge thanks for that. Hopefully we keep that rolling. But, the next thing is this isn't AI. This isn't Photoshop or anything. Texas Nate is in person.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
We just thought it'd be a nice treat to get together all, off of Zoom.
TN in the house.
Are you sure it's not AI? Because we're in Rocket Ryan's basement and he's not here.
Well, we broke in, so thankfully left all the stuff.
We're hoping the neighbors didn't notice. So.
Right.
Four guys walking in his house with Toledo gear on. I think they're not going to bat an eye.
Texas plates, though, might throw them off.
Yeah, that's true.
But we want to thank Rocket Ryan for loaning his man cave to us for recording tonight.
Heck yeah.
Yep. He couldn't make it tonight on Zoom. Unfortunately, he's enjoying the beach and some company down in Florida. So hopefully we grab him for the next episode. But
let's do our introductions on the guy, the extraordinary the producer extraordinaire. Sorry, I fumbled Ryan's words. Kyle W. Smith.
Hello, everyone.
And in fresh from Texas, the one and only TN, Texas Nate.
Hello.
And we've got Dan the Man Live Savage.
Yep. Dan Rocket Man Savage. What's up?
All right. Well, it's hard keeping track of your names.
Yeah, I know. I've got a lot of nicknames. Usually Ryan calls me out. He's called me his son multiple times. You never really know when Rocket Ryan's in the house, but he's not here. So, Pat, you call me whatever you want to.
I just won't call you late for dinner.
I think Ryan,
I had to get one shitty Ryan, pun in there. So
yeah, that's great.
I think Ryan's nicknames just depend on how many beers he's deep.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And nonetheless, I am Pat Gillick, aka PJ Spiller, and I have not spilled anything all night so far.
There's beers right here, so be careful.
Oh. All right, so
let's get into this.
Yeah, tonight's episode we have our season predictions, which we love doing every year. We love tracking that on social media and see how wrong we are. But hopefully you guys are pretty close to where we're at on our predictions.
I was kind of close last year.
Yeah,
a few games.
You actually did pretty well.
I was 1 point off on the home opener. Dan pointed out tonight, and then 2 or 3 games following, I was within 3. So.
Yeah, last year was a weird one. If you look on our Twitter/X, I did post one good prediction from that episode last year that came true. So if you want to go check it out, we're not wrong on everything, but the homerism, we were kind of leaning towards 10, 11 wins in the regular season.
A little bit ambitious.
And we salvaged it. We got 2 Power 4 wins. Mm-hmm. So not the worst thing in the world to be coming off of here in 2025. And as we get into the schedule prediction here, Toledo leads the most in returning production in the conference. And last year we knew that we did not. So maybe it's a little bit nicer for us to go top ropes here and actually, believe in ourselves, where last year we had a lot of question marks.
So you're saying there's some hope.
Yeah, a little bit. There better
I
be.
agree. I'm early after basketball season, I wasn't really super fired up about this team, about this season, but just getting into the depths of it a little bit showed that there's a lot of promise on this team, and there's a lot of variables that we don't have quantified. Hopefully the coaches do.
I think one of the big question marks that we had at the beginning of the year last year was the O-line, and it would be nice. It's going to be great to see them come back and be a little bit more seasoned.
100%.
But we'll get into the nitty gritty on our teams later on.
So we're going to start this off and kind of run through the schedule this year and have some facts and some returning players for each team. We're going to go through it kind of quick, and then at the end of the episode we'll each do our predictions.
Overarching though, before we nail in on our August 30th game against Kentucky, what do you guys think of the overall schedule? Because when it came out in April, I was like, oh, Akron, Kent, and Ball State at home. Awesome. You like to get the tougher teams at home if you're a top echelon team. We got the 3 worst from the MAC last year, all at home. And for the first time in 4 years, Toledo does not play UMass. and now they're in the league,
Right.
which
Makes sense.
is very
Makes sense.
very interesting. And then to add on to our Akron, Kent, Ball State, we get our FCS team, Morgan State. So that's pretty much four automatic free wins.
And now we go into a half an hour depth charge to Morgan State with Dan Savage.
Yeah, we'll hit that up here soon.
Well, not so fast. You haven't got to my predictions yet. So.
Yeah, and then we got Western Kentucky out of conference at home, which is a big one, and then Northern Illinois, but it's midweek. So kind of not a great home schedule, if you ask me.
No, and we had a great home schedule last year.
Yeah.
We did. So if the athletic department is on, they've probably got, a goal to hit for fans.
Right.
Without having Miami for homecoming and Bowling Green coming in, it's going to be tough. So if you're out there listening, get out to the Glass Bowl because they're going to need you. We got rev share, NIL. We need to fund them. We got to show up to the Glass Bowl.
Or just play with them on NCAA 26. Get them there.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like we're not going to be I think they want to get Kent out of the dumps first before the randos are going to play.
That is going viral, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, so let's kick this off. Texas Rockets going to start us off with Kentucky. He's actually been there, so has Rocket Man Dan. But most people know on our show that Nate checks out a lot of stadiums, so we thought that'd be a good one to kick him off with.
Yeah, so open up the season against Kentucky at Kentucky. Go to the Kroger Field. It's in Lexington. Kentucky is kind of an interesting team. Mark Stoops has done a pretty decent job running that program. Last year was a down year for him, 4-8 overall, 1-7 in the SEC. SEC also, though, has gotten stronger, as we all know. So, I don't know. We'll see a lot of players on that team left. 30 players left for the portal, 11 graduates, and 3 to the NFL. So, big turnover in Kentucky. Starting QB is Zach Calzada. Kyle and I have actually seen him play live. We were blessed to see him. He was a fill-in when he started his career at Texas A&M, and we saw him beat number 1 Alabama that no one saw coming. So he's got some big wins under his belt. He's kind of been a journeyman, though. He went to Auburn, just kind of been all over the place. Played at Incarnate Ward. Had some decent numbers, 3,700 yards and 35 TDs. So we'll see what he can do. Stoops, might have got a good portal fit for him. So that game kicks off August 30th. It's a 12:45 kickoff. Should be a pretty. The crowd that game is going to be a little interesting just because it's Texas, Ohio State. So a lot of eyes.
A lot of Midwest viewers are going to be checking out that game.
Yeah. So it should be interesting. What TV numbers and the crowd looks like there, but
it's also Kentucky in August, 12:45.
Yes, very humid and
probably they did a lot of favors by getting us out of the noon slot and putting us at 12:45 to get out of that sun.
Right.
I think it's interesting that you brought up Calzada, who was at A&M, and Stoops almost took the A&M job 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a connection there. Maybe I don't know. Probably not. But their one big win last year did come against Ole Miss of any team. And that probably that definitely did keep Ole Miss out of the playoffs. So when they shoot from the hip, Kentucky's always going to field a decent team, at least under Mark Stoops. Here's a little stat for you. Kentucky is 32-5 against the MAC all time.
Wow.
Their last loss to a MAC team was in 2004 against who?
Toledo.
No, we're 0-1 against them. Come on, Pat.
I like it, Pat.
I just had to spit it out.
Throw it out there.
We did win the MAC in 2004, but it was not us.
Marshall?
Nope. Good guess. That's a really good guess.
Ohio U.
Yeah, Ohio. A 4-7 Ohio team went in and beat a 2-9 Kentucky team in 2004. That was the last time a MAC team went in there. Ohio played them last year too. They got beat pretty good. So, we'll see. It's an SEC team. Toledo has won the last game. We played against an SEC team, so I'm sure the boys are going to be confident. In addition to that, we're 2-4 all time against the SEC. We beat Mississippi State and Arkansas back in 2015, and then our losses are to Kentucky in 2019. We lost to Missouri back-to-back years under Pinkel, 13 and 14, and then Florida in 2013 as well. So 2-4, not horrible against the SEC. That's one more win than Kentucky had against a 8 game schedule last year.
Something to look into with this game is it's kind of an obscure fact, but the last time we went to Kentucky and had a Kentucky transfer running back was Brian Koback.
Mhm.
And we kind of know what he did to Kentucky down there. And now we've got Chip Trainum, Ohio State product, went to Kentucky running back.
Right.
Let's see if he has a little chip on his shoulder.
From what I remember at Ohio
No
State.
pun intended.
Yeah, right.
Pun completely intended.
Right.
When he got into Ohio State, he definitely had flashes of this guy's going to be good.
Yeah.
You know, it was just that running back room so saturated.
Oh yeah, and he had some great returns.
Right.
Yeah, he was Ohio State's leading rusher against Michigan in 2022. I believe he had like 67 rushing yards, but Michigan kind of stomped on their throat that game.
Yeah. He's a big back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
I could see him being a draft pick, you know, if he goes back to what we assume to be normal at Toledo as 1,000-yard rushers
As a
with,
Penny Boone season.
yeah, 10 plus touchdowns. So I'm excited for that. I will be in attendance this year. Hopefully you guys turn off that Buckeyes game and at least watch the Rockets on SEC
God,
Network.
No question. Trying to make it down there, but
Yeah. Do we guys, we're not going to give score predictions because we're going to do that the week before every game,
Oh, I lied to everybody. My bad.
but we are going to do like a win-loss. Like, we going to win this one or not, guys?
I got a loss.
Mm.
I'm sorry, guys and gals.
If I had to guess, we're probably going to be between a 6 and 10 point dog, you know, on the money. Like, we're betting people here. So
I'll go win. You know, I'm going to keep it consistent with last year. I like this to be a homer a little bit, but I don't know. I think coming off with such a big turnover for Kentucky and the consistency, I think that we'll have a little bit on our roster.
Mhm.
Week one,
We always say that.
Yes,
We always
I
say
don't ever
that.
saying anyone can beat anyone week one.
Correct.
So I'll go Toledo. I'll be optimistic. I'll say Toledo.
I'm going Toledo for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think the offense is going to click a little bit more than it did last year, and the defense should be fine. I'm not scared by Zach Calzada. I'm sure Kentucky will be able to score a little bit, but you know, I don't know. They're not going to do what they did to OU last year before OU was in MAC championship form.
To be fair, like for Kentucky, that's a tough opening game.
Oh yeah.
You know?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What you got, Pat?
I'm going with a win.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like Nate said, we have continuity. We have returning players that have played for 3, 4, 5, 6 years together.
Yeah.
And
6 years even, which is crazy.
Yeah, and DeQuan Finn coming into the season for Miami is a 7th-year senior.
Yep.
But you look at Toledo's offensive line. They've had a full season under their belt. Yeah, they were horrible last year. There's no doubting that. But you get that continuity going with the old line, especially more than any other room in that football facility. You get the offensive line clicking, and you get, we have a run game, hopefully.
Hopefully.
You know, we've got some good transfers and some young kids coming up. We've got a really good wide receiver room. Between, Vander Ross, and we've got a kid that came out of Florida who was a 4-star, and when he got to Toledo, he was reduced to a 3-star.
A bunch of those. Marion Lang probably is who you're referring to.
No, it's another guy.
I know we have like 3 in next year's class that got docked. Where that's a whole nother episode. Why are our 4 stars now 3 stars? We have the 13th best quarterback in the country coming in next year, and he's a 3-star.
It's crazy.
Do that math. When the 26th guy is probably a 4-star.
So anyway, I've got that as a win, and I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be like a 1 or 2 point game.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it. A win is a win, especially in SEC country.
Yep,
the boys
exactly.
are confident coming off last year.
There's a lot of hope for this. From what I've seen, there's a lot of hope internally from this season. There's a lot of... It's weird because just the vibe I've been getting is more of we're coming together as a family.
Yeah.
And I think that shows with all the guys that have stayed around and gotten drafted. It's more of you see other programs like Kent State or even Kentucky, all the people exiting the program to get out, and we're retaining our people.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I mean, again, we'll get to this in the episode when we talk about players, but we didn't lose a guy that went up.
Right.
We lost guys that maybe we had a transfer go to Bowling Green, folks. He wasn't playing much at Toledo. So the guys we brought in hopefully supplement the rest of our roster. We're still recruiting freshmen at our number one clip we ever have. So this Toledo team is going to be good. We're just going to have to see how good. And after that big road game in Kentucky, we stay with another Kentucky team, Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers come up to the Glass Bowl. That's a 7:00 start as the home opener, the biggest party in Toledo. Nate, what do you think the vibe is when you lose a game? Last year we were 3-0 coming off Mississippi State, and then a rain delay just rips your heart out and kind of ends your playoff hopes at the end of September.
Just redemption.
That game, I was watching it, and it really just, you're right, it just crushed me. Coming off that Mississippi State win, it just felt like we had something. This could be like the year Toledo gets in, makes a run. You know what I mean? Like gets in that big spotlight. And in the fact that in the first half before the rain delay, we were dominating that game. We were playing good ball. It wasn't like we were in a bad game from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I think this year they come out and they have a bit of a target on Western Kentucky. They probably want to stop them, and I don't know. It'll be interesting. They're bringing Western Kentucky's offense might look a little bit different. I mean, it's kept their head coach, but bringing in a new offensive coordinator, Rick Bowie from Abilene Christian, and their quarterback, Maverick McElvore, is also a transfer from Abilene Christian.
Maverick, that's an awesome front.
That's a quarterback.
That is a pretty cool name.
Hey, name. Sunshine.
Yeah.
So I know their over under win total projection is 7.5. So it's definitely a big game for them too. Last year they went to their conference championship, lost to Jacksonville State after beating them the week before, and then got crushed in their bowl game by James Madison. So they definitely got some high hopes on their end too. And I know we've talked to the topper. Sorry guys, knocking over stuff.
The glass bowl just got shattered right there.
Breaking stuff on my end. Sorry about that.
Texas Rocket. Jeez.
Texas Tornado Rockets. Yes. But I think it'll be a really interesting game and can really set the tone for both teams on who gets the win in that. So
yeah, absolutely agree. My prediction is a redemption win. We go in, win by 2 scores. I'm calling it now.
Pat, what do you got?
I'm right there with him. I was thinking 2 touchdown.
I'll take 10 points, but still, it's going to be 2 scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're going to be good. They're always good. They play the Conference USA is fairly weak. They probably only have two conference games that they're going to be scared in. But if we do knock them off, that's a team we're going to have to root for because there's not a lot of meat on the bones of our schedule. So can't wait to have them dudes down. Toledo brought a great crowd to Bowling Green, Kentucky last year. I want to see them come enjoy our glass house here. But Nate, yeah, you were right, dude. After that rain delay, there was 1,000 people left. Just took the air out of the sails.
I also don't want to be that guy, but let's hope for some more neutral refs. Because good Lord,
yeah, 14 points taken off.
I don't like playing that card a lot, but that was just ridiculous.
You don't see that very often. 2 legitimate whistles blown, plays dead that were alive. So that sucked.
I think one of the great points that Nate brought up is the change of coordinator, because if you look at historically Western Kentucky, they've had a great quarterback and great air raid kind of offense that throws for tons of yards. It'll be really interesting to see what this guy does, if he adapts to the head coach's philosophy or if he has something new.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
Yep, I got to win. So next up is our FCS game of the year, which we usually, we like to start that at the end of August. We kind of like our little, preseason warm up game. This year, it's nestled in between a MAC game and Western Kentucky. Actually, 2 Western teams, which is funny. We play the Morgan State Bears. Head coach Damon William is 14-19 in his first 2 years. Morgan State, they went 6-6 last year. They weren't horrible, and they played Ohio. And they only lost 6-21, which is, Ohio beat us 24-7. So they kind of held up their own against the Bobcats last year. But They play South Alabama this year in week 1. So they have 2 FBS teams. We'll get a gauge of how competitive they are. I think that they're going to have a good defense again. They bring back a quarterback, Taj Smith, they had a little bit of a dual quarterback system last year, but Taj Smith was their running quarterback. I think he had like 48 rushes for 200 yards or something. So he wasn't that dominant on the ground, but he definitely ran more than their other quarterback. He also took 90 some sack yards. So that seems like his MO, like one check down, look to run around, and then maybe get hit in the backfield. I expect that we will do that a lot to him. They also bring back a pretty decent running back, JJ Smith. So he was their 3rd rusher last year. Taj Smith was their 5th leading rusher. It's good to have a battery that you're familiar with coming in from an offseason. And like I said, we'll see what they do against the Jaguars to get a real good look. We're going to preview this game here in September when we come up to it. But like Toledo usually does, I expect a big blowout win here. That's what we do. We played a damn near playoff Duquesne team last year and beat them like a drum. So I expect a big dub against the Morgan State Bears. Cool to have an HBCU come in. That's Brian Blair's done that a few times. We had Norfolk State in a few years ago. I like that. Does anybody have, this is a little trivia question. Does anyone know who Morgan State's rival is in their league? They have 2. I would accept 2.
Alabama A&M.
They are located in Maryland.
Oh,
So they're the furthest northern HBCU, I believe.
Towson State.
Towson, nailed it.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Nailed it right there. One of their rivals. The other one's Howard. So, wow, little trivia for you.
Towson's in Delaware.
Okay, so that's, we're right next door. You got it with the northern HBCU. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Are we winning this game, guys? We beat Morgan State.
Yeah, we're winning.
Yeah, we're winning.
If we don't win by 4 touchdowns, no, to me that's a defeat.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, like Dan brought up the Ohio game last year.
Yeah.
You never know.
And we'll be coming off of Kentucky and Western Kentucky. We might be a little beat up too.
Sure.
So let's just get out of that with a
But I'm saying 2
comfortable win.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
We lose that game, there's going to be a lot of bush lattes consumed.
Yeah, no kidding. Next, Pat, we're sandwiched between the Western schools. This is Western Michigan, week 4.
Western Michigan is an interesting view of their season and roster. Taking a look at their transfers, they've got a nice transfer group. I'd say 3 or 4 that really caught my attention. They got a lot of Big Ten transfers that played special teams. But they've got some other guys that are actually impressive. They've played good solid ball at solid universities. But Lance Taylor, head coach there, he's been there, I think, since 2022. He's 10-15 at Western. He had a really good first year, but it's kind of snowballed in the opposite direction.
There's some injuries, didn't they?
Yeah.
They have not had a healthy quarterback in years there.
Yeah. That's tough.
They've had a rough time. But if you look at them, nothing really stands out as far as like they're going to be world beaters. I'd say they're like a 4th or 5th place team in the MAC this year.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of promise. They had a lot of turnover. One of the surprising things is Lance Taylor's been there since 2022, and he's basically replaced his whole staff. The defensive coordinator has been replaced. The offensive coordinator is still there, but they've made some changes in that, and every position coach has been replaced. So that's just kind of an interesting fact. You turn over a whole staff but yourself.
Yeah, they've got that $500 million donor coming into that university. I'm sure, you get rid of a legacy coach that played there. Yeah. You want the next guy to do really well. Mm-hmm. And last year they missed Toledo, Ohio, and Miami. Coming into last year, I said the MAC championship would be us and Western Michigan. And they somehow they actually beat Buffalo, but then they stumbled down the stretch and they lost the rivalry game to Central Michigan, who is bad. So, yeah, Western's kind of an interesting team. I'm excited to go back up to Kalamazoo. I love Waldo Stadium. Really cool. I showed Pat before this a picture of their field. Yeah. the largest ad I've ever seen.
It's like 30 yards long.
And they have 2 of them, and they're not even brown and gold and black.
They're blue and yellow.
So
You got to make money somehow.
I guess, but what a silly,
They put a
silly idea.
blue and yellow banner on their field.
Ugh, not
I
good.
mean, if somebody paid me enough, I get a tramp stamp of an ad.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We got something to look forward to now.
There you go.
Bowling Green, that's coming soon for your program. You're going to have tramp stamps on the back of your guys' jerseys.
Highland Appliance.
Yeah, be great. Western's going to be solid. Toledo has lost the last 2 times we've played them there. One was COVID though, and I had to step in for the video squad and shoot that game. And man, did we flub that? Yeah, that was tough. But we're going to get back on the winning track. I think we take down the Broncos for our MAC opener here in 2025.
And I have them as a probably 2-score win as well.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
I'm going to go win as well.
Yeah, win.
Keep her
go.
rolling.
We got that one nailed down.
Rocket Ryan's got Akron. Rocket Ryan, what do you think? No?
Sure.
Boom.
That's him falling on the beach.
Yep. Week 5, Toledo plays Akron for our homecoming game. You know, what a team to bring the old folks back to campus. The Zipperoos.
Party time with the Zipperoos.
But the Kangaroos did knock us off last year to end the regular season.
What a nightmare game that was.
Well, you know, the kicker is going to have that in his head. There's no way he misses 3 at home.
I know.
Against the Zippies this year. Joe Moorhead, he can't keep the kids in the classroom. You know, they're the only team banned from postseason play. But they're going to play every game like it's their Super Bowl because they don't have a postseason.
Yeah, so what else you got to lose?
Yeah, exactly. And they're probably confident, right, that they can take us down. So I think we're going to beat Akron at homecoming, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer than the spread. This would be one of those Toledo's favored by 16.5, and then you take Akron to cover. Yeah, for sure.
That's some expert betting advice there.
If we're favored by double digits against anyone in the MAC, probably take the other side. Unless it's Kent. Kent's... we'll get to that.
That seems to be a lot of the gripe on social media.
There's some D3
It's
teams.
just the people who are betting, honestly.
There's some D3 teams that give Kent State a good game.
I think so.
I got to win as well.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it consistent with my picks. We'll just go win.
All right, so according to Nate, we are undefeated at this point. We are probably ranked, right?
According to 3 of you, right?
At that point, we're probably about
I'm the only party
21st. So
yeah, and that brings up Rocket Ryan's sole motivation in life: a weekend game at Deutsch Perry Stadium the next week. Also, that's another reason that we're not going to cover Akron is because our eyes and ears are going to be to the sky listening for the Falcons.
Right.
Toledo has not taken Bowling Green serious enough, I think, in most of our whole fan base as an opinion. You know, Scotty Loeffler he had one thing in mind every offseason: beat Toledo. This year, I think Candle's kind of sick of it. And I think Eddie George is going to come up for a rude awakening and what I assume is going to be an absolutely, huge crowd at Bowling Green. They haven't sold out a game against us in a long time. This one's going to be, near 30,000 what we had at the Glass Bowl last year. There's going to be standing room. You're going to be on a flagpole or a tractor a mile away trying to get eyes on this thing. So buy your tickets quick, folks. And if they give you a survey from their ticket office, give them all Fs because that's what happened when they played us last year.
Did it really? I didn't catch that.
Okay, here's some insider information from the fan council. We got, the athletic department did a survey after every home game. According to the survey, basically the only thing that determined like a 3 out of 5 versus a 5 out of 5 was if we won the game, which makes sense.
But was it because of the whole band situation?
That might have been part of it.
Right.
But we also gave the survey to everyone who bought a ticket. So there was 3,000 or 4,000 Bowling Green fans that got the survey in their email, and I'm sure they gave 0 for food, 0 for fan experience, but maybe 10 out of 10 for game outcome. I don't know.
I like it though. That's pretty great.
Yeah. So Bowling Green, get ready. I'm going to be there, and we're going to have the whole side to ourselves. There's going to be a lot of Toledo folks that are pissed off, and then if they're not pissed off at Bowling Green, they might be pissed off at Jason if we don't go down there and give them a taste of their own medicine.
It's a good point. I also think there's going to be a win this year against BG. 2 scores. I'm calling it. against the worst coach in the MAC, according to Dan Rocketman.
Yep, Eddie George.
I've got him as a win too, but I'd say 7, a touchdown or less. I think it's going to be tight. But I think in the end, there's enough motivation on this team and the coaching staff to get it done.
Yeah.
Don't kill me. This is the first loss.
Ooh.
Wow.
So if Toledo goes to the playoffs, Candle's on the hot seat then.
I listen, I don't know. I hope he gets it done, but I don't know. There's something about this year that I could see a loss. I don't know why. It was my gut instinct. I had to go with it. Now we'll see how he start off these 4 games and how they start off, and maybe I'll change. But
you've lost your seat at the table. Turn the helmet around, put it on backwards, and walk away.
To Texas.
Walk away.
Get out of here.
Listen, I believe somebody else picked BG last year. Was it UConn?
Might have been Ryan.
No, I didn't pick BG.
Okay.
No, Ryan wouldn't have picked
somebody
BG.
else picked BG during.
I might have. I don't
basketball.
remember.
Well, so
we'll review the tapes.
It may have been me. Let us know in the comments.
Jeff Murphy from the Group of 5 Guys podcast picked Bowling Green as they were live on site, and I was with him, and that one hurt. He took the orange Jello shot instead of the blue one.
I was standing there for that.
I hope it tastes awful.
No, they were pretty good. The orange ones were good. They don't have their quarterback. Connor Bazelak's gone. They don't have their running back. Harold Fannin Jr. is gone. 3 of their offensive linemen are gone. 2 are going to Kentucky, by the way. So that's going to be a weird thing. They just don't have. They're bringing in Drew Pine, right? He's been to Notre Dame and he's been to Arizona State and last year Missouri. He's a journeyman quarterback. Drew Pine's going to be fine in the MAC. Who's he throwing to?
I mean, that's true. Losing, especially Fannin. I mean, that guy was incredible.
Yeah.
But I guess I think the X factor also could be is if Eddie George realizes how big this rivalry is. Like, if he comes in with the understanding that like this is like the Michigan Ohio State, on next year, like this is the game. Both
he does
these
have
teams
experience with that. That's for sure.
I don't know if he understands that. I think it definitely could be a more competitive game. If he doesn't, then I think we could go in and really pound him. But right now, my gut's telling me that could be our first loss.
See, it'll just be interesting to see what he does after this year. with recruiting and seeing how he builds it up
If
to where he needs.
If he's in Bowling Green,
first year, it's just tough.
I'll be way more scared of this game when the stinky Vegas line says that we're 3.5 point favorites and Bowling Green's 0-5 going into it. That's when I'm like, oh shit! Like Bowling Green only cares about this game this year. Nothing else matters.
The wheels came off.
Yeah. So, but if they're fighting and they're feisty, and we see on tape that they can do a little bit of something, there's no reason that we shouldn't be ready. Candle's never lost back-to-back games to Bowling Green. He's 6-3 against them all time. I trust him at least on the road in this spot.
Absolutely.
Pat, while I go take a tinkle,
let's get to the dumpster fire that is Kent State football.
Have fun with this one. I'm going to go to the dumpster fire right now.
For the love of God. Yeah, you're going to have to put out the flames with your flow. Yeah, Kent State. I mean, whole new coaching staff, whole new team. They had, I believe, 47 or 48 transfers out and 6 or 7 in for a 39-1 ratio. 39 players bailed on this team, which it's going to happen with a whole new coaching staff, obviously. But My God, there's been talk around, message boards and Twitter and whatnot about getting Kent State out of the MAC, getting them down to FCS status.
I wouldn't want to see that.
I wouldn't.
They're still good in basketball,
right? And those are separate entities.
I know, but that's just a tough call.
But it's also not like they've been historically. I mean, I think it was 12 and 13 when they were actually pretty good. Going to MAC championship.
12 or 13. We're talking 13 years ago.
How many years was Akron in a rough spot, and starting to kind of get in the middle of the pack,
getting the pieces together a little bit. But still, they were a laughingstock. They're the only ones that are, banned from postseason play. But Kent State, in my opinion, this is just me. I think they should be up for being banned from postseason play just for lack of care about their goddamn program.
Listen, I will say this though: their uniforms top 3 in the MAC. They got some cool uniform combinations.
If you
That's-
like baby blue,
I do like baby blue.
That's what Nate cares about ultimately.
Listen, uniforms. They're flashy. I don't know.
Not what's underneath. And
Look at you.
anyway, they do have a couple transfers in that are considered by Kent State to be bright spots. I would say they are dim spots in the rest of the MAC.
yeah,
Sure.
They don't have a great class coming in. I mean, they went heavy in, freshmen, coming in obviously, but so
Yeah.
they're going to be a little bit of a dumpster fire for a while.
they got the interim coach though. He's fighting for a job, so he's going to be spicy. I said it on
Spicy doesn't win games a lot in the MAC.
no, I know. I said it on the head coaching episode. Their offense wasn't horrible last year, but they don't have much coming back at all.
No. Every talent player transferred out.
So that one's going to be a win. Again, it sucks that this is a home game because we could go there and mop the floor with them, and we have to make our fans sit in a beautiful October scenery.
How many are going to be there after halftime?
Yeah, it's going to be tough to keep them in the stadium. That's for sure.
Well, I got a W.
Yeah, W.
Dub.
Yeah, back on track.
All right, let's keep her moving here.
Toledo's undefeated by at least 2 of us.
And another big out of conference game next, Washington State.
Yeah. So Wazoo's quarterback is gone. I believe he's at Oklahoma. He had a great year last year, but he had a great year against the primarily Mountain West schedule, which is fine for, coming from a Toledo fan. Like, that's nothing to scoff at. They had a solid year. They're in that weird little scheduling quirk where they get Oregon State twice a year. I'm not sure I would love that if it wasn't even my real rival. But I expect Wazoo to be decent. They've got a lot of tough games. They go to Virginia, who's a team that's apparently spending way more money than most teams in the ACC now. Because, a lot of smart people went to Virginia. There's a lot of money there. So Virginia just bought a big roster. They go to Ole Miss. They play at James Madison to end the year. That's a freaking tough game.
Yeah.
Wazoo is one of those teams that really could be looking at a New Year's Six spot if they're 11-1. I'm not sure where we fall in important games for them. I would say it's probably near the bottom. Really,
right? Yeah.
Even the Mountain West teams that they get San Diego State and Colorado State, like those kind of probably generate a little bit more buzz in Pullman, Washington. We know that athletic director Brian Blair is a Wazoo product. That was his last stop before Toledo, so I'm sure he's in the ears of all the coaches. Like, man, I want to win this one. This is a big one. Our women's basketball team lost in the WBIT Final Four there a couple years ago.
Yep.
So if we got anybody dating a women's basketball player on the football team, they're going to be real pissed off, So
just a side note, it was nice to see Sammy come back as a
Absolutely.
graduate assistant.
heck yeah. The mayor of Rossford.
That's right.
So this is going to be a really tough game. This is probably the second game of the year we're not favored. Depending on where Wazoo is sitting, if they're like 4-3 or something, it might be a 3-point spread. We also, we played Kent the week before, so you could say that's kind of a bye week, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a 10-day layoff before Northern after them. So we can kind of put all our eggs in one basket. And especially if we lose to Kentucky or Western Kentucky, this will be a must win on the schedule. And it's a scheduling win for us, especially with all the travel. 10 days after, I love it. We're going to go beat the Cougs in front of a raucous, smallest P5 program stadium. I think it holds 32,000. So
Right on. What do you got, Pat?
I'm right there with you.
heck yeah.
I've got a UT win, probably under a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close.
So I picked the Kentucky loss. Beginning of the season, week 1, anything could happen. I agree with you. But, hopefully they dust off that playbook from 2 years ago with that running back room they have this year.
Mm-hmm.
Get things rolling. But, a little shaky to start the year. I think they're rolling at this point in the season, and they get that W.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
I get nervous with teams going out west. A lot of teams just struggle going out. I don't know why. I'm going to go win. I think it'll depend on where we're at in that point. If we're on a roll, I think we definitely could get the win. If we're kind of mediocre, then we could be some trouble. But from what I got, I think we're going to go out there and get the win. I think it'll be good. If they're undefeated, Texas Nate might be making a trip out there.
Dan Rocket Man might be taking a connecting flight to Houston to meet you.
There we go.
And we'll sit next to each other on
Dallas
the plane.
or Austin. You got options. I'll pick you up. We can. Yep.
Oh man, it'd be so much fun. I better start saving my money now. That's not going to be a cheap.
No,
plane
that's going to be a
ticket.
cheap flight.
I don't think there's not many direct flights to Pullman. I think Boise's probably the closest big city.
It might be Seattle and then come back.
That's why I wasn't sure what
It's
one's
on the very eastern side of the state, and it's in kind of near that tip of Idaho.
Yeah.
And depending when you fly in, a Texas Rocket weekend, he'll find another game to go to out there. Capitalize that trip.
I actually kind of looked, and yes, I'm
telling you people.
Montana, Eastern,
Dude,
Washington.
I'd go to Montana or Montana State game. That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
The Cougs also, for what it's worth to me, they're one of the only teams in college football that can pull off gray. I think gray and their color of red or crimson or whatever, I think it looks awesome. So shout out Cougs. Hopefully we'll find a podcast that we can preview this with out there. Who else would you like if you live out there, right? Like if you're around Seattle, you're a Washington Huskies fan, but if not, like root for the underdog.
I am rooting for them. Like them
Washington, D2.
Well, them in Oregon State, like just a lot of grit just to stay put.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
We're gonna figure this thing out. That's
I
really
do like
cool.
that.
And like as a Mike Leach fan,
Yes.
I loved it when he was there. That was
Find
great.
your inner pirate.
All right. So as assumed here.
All right, we got the traders heading out of town here. The MAC.
Strong words for the non-rivals. Toledo plays Northern Illinois next. It's our only midweek home game, so something Rocket Ryan could get behind if he was here. Something he's been pushing for years. Actually, if we're going to be showcased one time on television, I'm glad it's the outgoing Huskies.
Not a bad game.
And really, Brian Blair just put out a thing that we're trying to sell this game out. This is his only mission. I mean, not his only mission, but one of his bigger missions of the year. He said, we're going to get high school student sections to show up from local, like around here.
Wow.
Maybe even possibly canceling classes on that night to make sure all the students can get out. Little history with the Huskies, the non-rivals here. We are 35-17 against them all time. So they don't touch us. We have twice the amount of wins.
Let's just explain your title, non-rivals.
So in a lot of conferences, you got like a Michigan State. Who's their biggest rival? It's Michigan, right? But who's Michigan's biggest rival? It's the Buckeyes. So you get a team that kind of gets screwed out of not having a main rival that hates them as much. And Ball State believes that their number one rival is Northern Illinois. Their secondary rival's Miami. Well, Northern thinks it's us. And we all know here in Lucas County that it's not Northern Illinois.
No.
They pushed us a little bit here in the 2010s. We don't like Northern at all.
No.
But just a little shot to them. We're not the rival. They are the non-rivals.
All right. That explains it.
So 35-17 against them all time. We are 20-7 against them at home, which is pretty damn good. That's where we have them this year. We've won 3 in a row. Coach Hammock, I put him 5th in my MAC coaching rankings. A lot of people disagree with that. He's 6 games under 500. He's only won one title.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's not going to do it for Northern. Even if you're a Northern fan, I'm sure you don't like that record. Now, he did beat Notre Dame last year. The boys in the trenches have been generally pretty good.
Only reason he has a job.
Yeah, he needs to go back to being an NFL running backs coach, if you ask me. Northern, their quarterback actually is the guy who played for them against us last year. He was their backup, their regular. I think Ethan Hampton was their quarterback. He was hurt, so this guy Joshua Holst played against us. We held him to 7 points, so he's going to run the show. They brought in a new OC at Northern, so maybe they're going to try to pass more. I don't know. That doesn't seem like Hammock's MO. There's just going to be a ground and pound team. But Joshua Holst, fun fact, went to high school in Marengo, Illinois, where 2 of my best friends live. They went to the same high school he did, Marengo. I have a Marengo Indians hoodie that I used to work out in. So shout out to the girls, Kelsey and Haley, out there in Marengo, Illinois. But this dude, I mean, I think they're like a Division IV high school out there. He's kind of like, he was like the quarterback of an Ottawa Hills type kid. He was a boss in their league, got him to the playoffs for the first time in probably a long time there. Not really known as being a football town, but now he's built a culture there. He was the backup for 2 years. He's stepped in now, and he's a head guy at Northern. I am not, I'm not worried about this game because I do think we're going to actually have like a raucous midweek crowd. And for the love, we can't lose this game on sending NIU to the Mountain West.
No.
So I'm going to say that we take the Huskies down, and we probably never schedule them again.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fine by me.
I have them as a win as well. I have them by a 2-score win.
Oh, yeah. I got a win, and I want 3 scores at least. Foot in the ass, get out of here.
Right.
I was just about to say that, Kyle. A win and just a kick in the ass out the door. So.
That's right.
Yeah, the hard way. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, next we got Miami.
Miami University in Oxford, Ohio.
We don't like them either.
That's right.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah. Well, number one, they've got DeQuan Finn. They've got our guy, came back from Baylor, transferred to Miami of Ohio. 7th-year senior coming into this season. So he's got a little game action under his belt. And obviously, he was a MAC Player of the Year in Toledo in 2023.
Yep.
And MAC Player of the Year, he was Offensive Player of the Year. He's dynamic. I mean, there's no denying it.
He's a gret athlete,
And you see him.
He's good.
And I just wonder, transferring back to the MAC and into Miami, how much of a target is on his mind getting back at Toledo.
I mean, there's a spotlight on him, and honestly, like I wish him the best. Like I
like him.
I
want
absolutely
him to
get it. Like going to Baylor,
I want him to play. Yeah,
who knows what your NFL future is?
Get your money now.
Get some cash here. It makes sense.
And then you just wonder: was there any bad blood? Is there anything extra motivational wise for him to play a lights out game? So anyway, they have some impressive transfers in from Big 10, Big 12. Not impressive, I guess. They're more of a we played special teams and we stuck out on that. And there was guys that played 4 years at Notre Dame, played in 34 games. And it was probably mop-up time. So
right.
They've got impressive resume, but if you look into it, not that great of talent. Anyway, I see Miami, obviously, strong program, strong tradition. I think this is one of my upsets. I've got Miami winning this game.
That'd be
probably by at least a touchdown.
Well, that'd be heartbreaking a little bit.
It would be. But if you look at it honestly, I think we can win all the previous games we've had.
Right, according to what you got so far.
Well, and you know that Toledo always plays up. What is a midweek crowd at Miami going to look like? That's not going to be the environment. I mean, that's like what Western Kentucky was after the rain delay. That's what Akron was. That's kind of the game that Jason Candle has had missteps in the past. Right. Now, it is Miami, so it's a big game. So maybe that kind of changes the mindset, but we did beat them last year. So I'm not sure. There's not like a revenge, but the revenge spot's on their end, honestly. And DQ is going to obviously want to beat the Rockets.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But then what is Tucker Gleason's chip on his shoulder? Because he's playing the guy that was ahead of him. So there's an angle for that as well. In my coaching rankings, I had Chuck Martin third in the MAC. That really pissed off a lot of Miami fans, which is great by me. He tends to not be. He's okay against the top dogs. What Chuck Martin always does, though, he has a high floor, and we're not Akron or Kent, who he would automatically beat. So it's going to be a tough game. They're not going to get blown out by Toledo. That is for sure.
Their defense is too damn solid.
But he's not really known for stepping up and beating a ton of contenders. So this is a really tough game.
It's kind of a trap game.
I'm going to get to a trap game here in a second, but I still think Toledo rocks this, and we're 10-0. And we knock off the Red Hawks in front of 4,000 screaming parents and dogs. Their students are going to be at the bar.
Yeah. I really like DQ when he was here.
Frat house.
He was a great athlete, really gritty player. But we're a Tucker family now.
Right.
So I'm going Toledo win.
I'm going to go ahead and say this. This could be the MAC game of the year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is the most intriguing game.
Yeah,
TV ratings wise, this is it.
Yeah. I mean, this should be. I don't know. This is going to be a fun game. I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to go Toledo. I like you said. I mean, last year, kind of people thought Miami was going to upset them, and we beat them. So,
yeah.
I'm going to go with the Toledo.
I'm not strong on my pick. I'm not happy with it, but I'm sticking with it.
Kyle, can you quick look up Miami's non-conference schedule? Because I think there's an important tidbit here. They are under Coach Martin. They're 10-30 out of conference.
Damn,
which is bad. But their wins have come against one FCS a year, basically, UMass a few times.
FCS.
And their 2 power wins are 1-11 Northwestern and 3-9 Cincinnati, their rival. Each were like a 3-point game and an overtime win. So who do they get? They get Wisconsin and UNLV. That's 2 losses.
Yep.
And
Rutgers, which they could win that. The Forest, they also get Northern Illinois. Eastern, that's going to be fine. Western, that could be good. And they play Ohio the week before us. So are they?
What is that?
Lindenwood. Yeah, they're new to the FCS.
I don't think they have a logo.
So they play the Battle of the Bricks the week before us. That's a crazy spot. Because if they win, they're going to be overhyped or maybe energized, and that's perfect.
Well, one thing for sure, they're going to be beat up. That's a hard knocking game.
Or if they lose, then they're pissed. And then if we're 9-0, like I think coming into the game, then that's kind of a scenario where
Target
I'm like,
on our back.
Yeah, maybe I bet
it's not going to be an easy game.
No, it's going to be a 4-point spread either way.
Definitely the most intriguing game on this schedule.
Hopefully no vuvuzelas this year from the student section. My gosh.
That was so horrible.
If you guys watched on TV, I'm sure you could barely hear the broadcast.
Woke me out of my first half slumber.
Hey, your little nap time.
Yeah, I got a little nap time.
How dare they?
God.
Did Toledo hand out vuvuzelas?
No.
No. Not. Back in like 20.
Yeah, it's like 2008.
It wasn't to 3,000 or 4,000 kids though. It was like the first 100 got them. You know,
it was at the student section.
It's literally illegal in the MAC handbook. You can't have noisemakers in the stadium, so it's not like Cowbell Central down there in Mississippi.
Oh my God, that was so obnoxious.
Hey, we won, so that's fine. Yeah. They did get us back though. So DQ has lost to Miami. So will he lose to Toledo? He hasn't done that yet.
Right. He's on schedule.
Would be a little tragic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. But
all right, now we roll into Ball State.
Oh, Nate.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Saturday game.
Good Lord.
November 22nd.
That might be our noon game.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely. They have a new head coach, Mike. Daniel, help me out with his last name.
Yurimovich.
Yep, there we go. From Butler.
I thought he'd be from Altoona, PA. Back where Ryan's from.
Pretty mediocre record there, 22-24.
Yurimovich.
Last year, kind of bottom of the MAC, 2-6 in the MAC, and 3-5 overall. So kind of coming off a bad year for Ball State. Bringing in. Sorry, lost my place. Bringing in an interesting quarterback prospect. So he played quarterback for them in 2023
when they almost beat us. Yep, by the way.
Yep, and then switched last year to wide receiver and DB, and now he's back at quarterback. Kind of an interesting.
Sounds like disarray.
So we'll see what that brings for him. They also got in a couple transfer running backs. One from Purdue, who's apparently a pretty quick kid. Did a lot of kick return plays for them. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I mean, I think it should be a pretty easy win for Toledo.
Their best player last year was their tight end, Tanner Koziol. And he was the guy that got, we had Harold Fannin in the MAC. So it was very tough to make all MAC. And then Northern's tight end was also awesome. Koziol was the guy that took our spot from our boy Anthony Torres, and he's now gone. He transferred to Wisconsin and then transferred out before spring ended.
Who did Kozia?
Yeah, he's somewhere else in the Power Five. Like he's going to be I think he's at Oklahoma State. Maybe he's somewhere random. But without that playmaker there, I could see this being a low scoring, like 21-3 type sleepy nooner with, the best November crowd we've had. Ding dong. In a few years of maybe 16,000. And then this will plant my legacy with Rocket Ryan that it doesn't matter if it's a midweek game or a Saturday game. If it's in November and it's cold in the Glass Bowl, the crowds are going to be the same. So Rocket Ryan, you heard me here. But also I've got us 10-0 coming into this game, so maybe we'll sell it out.
I do have to give one more shout to them because I'm a big man and I like offensive line play. They do have probably the two biggest tackles in college football. One of them is 6'8", 300 pounds. His name is Adam Dolan.
That's a big boy name.
That is on.
Yeah. And the other one is 6'10", 315 pounds.
Good
His name is
Lord.
Chris Hood. So, I mean, those are two just massive men.
Good
So
for them.
I have to give him a shout out on that.
You've got a guy that outsizes Storm Norton.
Yeah,
That's
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
that's a big boy. So Ball State, they're probably not going to be very good this year. Their schedule's tough. They do play Purdue though, which if you're Ball State and you're playing a Power 5 team, the in-state Boilermakers are maybe the best one you want to draw.
And you look at their programs, how many have transferred between the programs?
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
two.
Toledo has a few from Purdue, which
Yeah.
we'll get to in our team breakdown here.
Let's roll into. So we all have wins for Ball State.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
I got to win.
Yeah, if it was there, that would be like the Muncie trap game, but
Yeah, for sure.
not this time. But
Let's roll into Central.
so CMU, they got this new head coach, right? Jim McElwain's out the door. Matt Drinkle from Army, an O-line coach
Woo!
from
Dynamic.
11-1 Army,
Dynamic.
and he has head coaching experience. It was at like the NAIA level, but he was like 40-13 there. This was years ago, but the dude has head coaching chops. Central Michigan has been very penalized. They've been, all over the board. Their offense has sucked. They haven't had a healthy quarterback. If anyone's going to whip them into shape, it's a dude that's been regimented at Army. The Central Michigan starts off with one of the best G5s, which people may not know about, San Jose State this year. Then they play Pitt, and then they go to Michigan. So they're not even home until week 4.
Wow.
And that's when they get Wagner, which they should win that game. But
Recovery game.
how dead are you going to be after that start to the schedule? So CMU might be one of those teams that like starts off 1-5 and then gets to climb back through their
9-7.
max schedule and get back to like, close-ish to 500. They are 30-20, or we are 30-20 against CMU all time, but we're 12-14-1 away.
Wow.
And that one tie was Rocket Ryan's first football game he watched Toledo play on TV.
Wow.
You remember he comes up with that stat every year,
Yep.
and we always forget it, and we're always blown away. This time I remembered.
I was still
Nice.
blown away. I'm not going to lie.
We're 8-2 in the last 10 against CMU. The Chips have not had much. Joe Lavis is back at quarterback. He'll be fine. We've won 3 in a row. If I have to imagine that we're clinched at this point,
Correct.
unless Ohio really, with a new head coach is really there with Buffalo, 2 teams that we don't play.
Well, I mean, based on our predictions so far.
Right. Based on my prediction, I got them 11-0 at this point.
Right.
I could see us doing the old maybe sit some guys when the game's, maybe they score twice first and we're like, all right, it doesn't matter. And then New Year's 6 hopes are dashed the week before the MAC championship game. And then we'll get up and we'll beat Buffalo for the MAC championship. That's my prediction, but I'm going to have this as our loss, Central Michigan.
Yep. I'm right there with you.
So that's your second loss though for Toledo, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I see them coming into this possibly clinch before they come in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not up for this game. There's no incentive for this game.
Crowd's going to suck. It's going to be
Crowd's
cold.
gonna suck. I mean, you're Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Late November. Come on.
Right.
That's the coldest place you could probably be outside of Buffalo.
Candle's a great coach, but I can't see him getting this entire squad motivated to a point where they can come out and dominate, win by 2 touchdowns. I see them struggling in this game.
Mhm.
And we saw it last year, obviously.
Even 2 years ago, we clinched and lost to Bowling Green in Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Before the MAC, and then we won the MAC. So 3 years ago, actually. So
it's up and down.
Yeah, this weekend after Thanksgiving, I hate this game. And CMU is a team. Actually, breaking news: the new college football 26 game, EA Sports, they broke the new uniforms for the team. CMU, according to the run out feature, they got way sleeker uniforms, just basically plain maroon with white numerals. They got white pants with the maroon and gold stripe, no logos on the helmet, just maroon helmets with like yellow stripes. That's it. Which I hate CMU's uniforms. I think they're corny always. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh, they got no logo on the helmet. That's kind of sweet. I just think it's a cool.
I'm going old school.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to like break your uniforms on a video game. So I like Matt Drinkle. I think he's going to be awesome there.
Whether that transitions into wins and losses.
Probably not in year one.
With the uniforms, to be seen.
Right.
If I was a recruit, the old ones would have deterred me. But
yeah.
Well, dang, boys, I thought it was going to be groundbreaking here, but I also have a loss for pretty much the reasons everybody said so far. So I guess we'll keep her moving to Texas Rocket.
Listen, I'm going to hit you with a great not so fast from the great Lee Corso, who's about to end his career as a broadcaster. I'm going to go a win. All right. I'm gonna say that we don't lose that late season MAC game, and we keep it rolling, and we are going to the MAC championship, and we are playing for a chance to go to the playoffs.
So you have one loss?
One loss, and that is against probably the worst team we could lose to, but it's okay. We have to lose one. We have to lose one.
If you go 11-1, and your discrepancy between, like, so say Bowling Green's 5-7. And then we win the MAC, that's probably okay.
Yeah.
That's like, now if Bowling Green's like 9-3 and they beat us, that's when they can talk shit. Because they're like, we beat you and we were close and we played Penn State out of conference. That's why we lost, or something like that. So
don't give them any excuses.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we don't beat BG. That scenario doesn't come into fruition. Do you guys, I think we all have Toledo in the MAC championship though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Who is your opponents?
Akron.
Well, they're ineligible to play in the postseason. I don't know if that counts though. Can they go to the MAC championship still?
I would think. I don't know. Good question. Let's have some of our fans out there and parents look that up.
Yeah, can you still win the MAC but just not play in a bowl?
The Buffalo pick is interesting.
Well, yeah.
Is conference championship considered postseason?
We don't know.
That's why we're asking people to call in.
Comment, folks.
Go to buzzsprout.com.
No, you should just fact check it right now. I need to know this answer.
Click on the Ask the Boys a Question link. And
yeah, keeping Akron away from their final exams to go play in the MAC championship probably isn't a good idea.
Yeah, probably not. They got some remedial work to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Buffalo. That's who my pick for the opponent is. I think Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo for sure. I'm a giant fan of Coach Lembo there. They keep their quarterback. They bring back one of the leading tacklers in the country, a linebacker. I just think that Buffalo is just meant to play Toledo in Detroit. It's like the Rust Belt championship of all time.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we're going to be so pissed that we lost to them last year. I think it'd be just an awesome game. They would show out like crazy because they're going to be at the peak of their program.
The Lake Erie battle.
Oh, yeah. It'd be awesome.
What you got, Pat?
Right. I've got...
We got rematch with Miami on deck, maybe. Ohio is going to be probably decent.
I'm going Miami.
Yeah.
DQ rematch?
Yep.
That would be really cool.
I'm going Miami because they have a ton of talent on defense.
Mm-hmm.
With DQ coming in, he's going to be more dynamic. I don't know about their receiver room or their, running back room, but just having his presence there, at least if he can live up to the level he played at Toledo, I think it's going to be a strong point.
And that's a really interesting pick for you, Pat, because you have them losing regular season. So if it's like a redemption game,
right?
Win it when it matters, basically.
Yeah, that's when I have to bet Pat, because I know that DQ is going to lose against us one of the times. So if they win the first one, I might be like, shit, I got to bet on Miami.
All right. I'm down.
The only reason I didn't pick Miami to be in there was because we beat them, and I don't want to play DQ twice. So
yeah, I don't want, but I kind of do.
I'm trying to think of it more objective, like rather than what I want and what I think will happen. But I don't know.
Who knows? It's July, folks.
It's July. We're prognosticating from a drunken basement.
If any of these are right, again, we'll be posting next July on Twitter about what we got right and what we got wrong.
Next July, August this year.
Yeah, after the game one, fuck, Dan's out.
Well, what do you think, guys?
I put a bow on this bitch.
We got to put a bow on this bitch, and thank you for Ryan for letting us use the man cave tonight in his absence. And I'm sure his absence is well explained by his Facebook feed in the bars he's been visiting all day.
Yeah, and I mean we'll post our predictions on social media here coming up, and we'll get Rocket Ryans as well, and keep track of it. And it's a lot of fun to do that. So. Really looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
On behalf of producer Laptop Boy using his phone to video screen us right now, extraordinaire Kyle W. Smith, I am Dan Rocketman Savage. That is
Nate the Texas Rocket.
And that is
Pat Chillick, a.k.a. PJ Spiller. And I made it through another episode. No spills.
Yay! You know how this ends, folks. TOL.
EDO.